All right, we're going to switch gears now, and joining us right now is Maryland Governor Wes Moore. Governor, how are you this afternoon? I know you're super busy, but thanks so much for taking some time out for us. It's Annie and Allison.
Yeah.
Hey Annie, hey Allison.
Hey.
It's great to be with you both. We're doing well. I'm here at the Emergency Operations Center in Maryland, and the work that these men and women have been doing for days now, both in preparation and also in response to this storm, has been remarkable.
Yeah.
And I think people have seen this storm is not only real. We're not out of the woods yet because we are watching the temperatures have continued to drop and they will stay low for a while. That this snow is not done yet and it will turn into sleet and freezing rain. And so it's just important that people continue to stay vigilant as they're going about their days.
We know that you call that state of emergency pretty early, looking at all the guidance there. Are you seeing any trouble spots? I know we have beautiful waterways in the state of Maryland, so those bridges are especially dangerous. What are you seeing from your purview?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, one of the things that we're asking people to do is to stay off of the roads. And part of the reason is because we want to be able to get these roads cleared as quickly as possible. And the only way that can happen is if people are not on the roads. And so allow our emergency personnel to be able to go out and do the salt and the ice breaking and everything that's going to be necessary and required to get us back up on our feet. I do think it's important because when people see the snow, starting to wane and then turn into freezing, starting to turn into freezing rain, people might think, oh, that's great. It's going to help to melt it. No, what's going to happen is because the temperatures are so low, it actually turns into sheets of ice. And that is going to be equally as dangerous, if not more, both for roads and also for power lines. And so we just ask people to, continue getting their updates, from us in the state of Maryland. It's, mdready.maryland.gov, and you can get your updates. But we will continue to stay in consistent communication with our people.
I think that's so important to get out there, Governor. There's that false sense of security when you look outside and you think, oh, the snow has stopped, but it's that sleet and the icy mix that is very treacherous for roadways. So the message being, if you don't have to go out, don't go out. But Governor, a quick question for you. If you could give your residents one tip through this snowstorm, what is that?
I'd say there's some really good football on today that you should check out. We're going to find out who's going to the Super Bowl today. I'd say Netflix has some great shows that you should be checking out. If you have some old board games or if you have some cards, I'm saying we're going to get into a game of spades in our household. So I would say come up with all fun activities. The only consistent activity you should come up with is indoors. Just keep it indoors.
Yes.
And again, if you have hills around you, go sled. There is some beautiful sledding, as we saw, even though I believe that Maryland still has the best hills. But just make sure they're in walking distance. Don't get in your car to go sledding. Go find a hill near your home that you can walk to and go enjoy that.
I love that even in the midst of snow, in the snowstorm, our governor is still very, very Maryland. We got the best hills. I love that.
And we do. While we have you here, we know that you had spent some time on the morning shows talking about what's going on in Minnesota. Just wanted to switch gears. And while we have you, you've said that you've called it a reckless pattern of violence carried out by DHS, endangering our communities, not protecting them. It must stop. Can you just expand on that a little bit? As a governor of a major state here, your thoughts about what's going on in Minnesota and specifically Minneapolis?
Yeah, I believe that we should spend our time and our resources and actually having trained, accountable, and actually police forces that make our communities safer and not less safe. The problem, what we're seeing right now with Donald Trump and JD Vance ICE is it's not doing any of those things. That we are literally deploying people who weeks ago were sitting on their couch. Weeks ago were playing video games, and they're now armed and in communities. And for many of these people, they are untrained. For many of these people, they are unqualified. And for many of these people, they are unaccountable. And I serve as the vice chair of the National Governors Association. So I work with Democratic and Republican governors all across the country. And the thing that we can say in a unified voice is this lack of respect for local jurisdiction or state rights, this lack of respect for both the First Amendment and the Second Amendment. that we are seeing from some of these agents is just it's intolerable. It's unconscionable. And while it's Minnesota today, who knows where it is tomorrow? And when you have ICE that is the 13th largest funded military force in the world, we have to make sure that our taxpayer dollars are going into a force that is well trained, that is accountable, and a force that actually aligns with de-escalation and not with escalation, like we have seen with their usages in Minnesota.
We've seen thousands come out, not just in Minnesota, in Minneapolis, but also across the country. I just have to ask you, what do you think it will take for the people to be heard here if they believe that ICE is overreaching? Is there anything, as I think a lot of people look at it and feel rather helpless, what do you think that's going to take?
Well, I think that the Trump-Vance administration needs to hear us. And when I say hear us, it's not just governors, it's the people. They need to hear us. And they need to understand that if you look at us and if you look at what we do in the state of Maryland, I give record funding for local law enforcement. I believe in that, but I believe that we can have a law enforcement that moves with appropriate intensity, absolute integrity, and full accountability. I believe that we can have, if you look at our state forces, that they are well trained and there's accountability for them. But we are not seeing that with what we're seeing in Minnesota or what we're seeing with this growth of ICE inside of neighborhoods. And so I believe in people's First Amendment rights. I believe in people's Second Amendment rights. But I believe that we are now looking at a force in ICE that doesn't seem to care about public safety, that doesn't seem to care about violent crime, and doesn't seem to care about following the Constitution. So this has to stop.
Governor Moore, the mayor in Minnesota has expressed frustration about what it's been like working as a local official with members of Homeland Security and ICE. What has it been like for you, and also working with the mayor of Baltimore? And what do you say to the people who feel so hopeless in Maryland?
I would say that the frustration that we're seeing both with Mayor Fry and also my colleague Governor Walz it's a shared frustration. And it's not just a shared frustration amongst Democratic governors. As vice chair of the NGA, I actually stayed in partnership with the chair of the NGA, Kevin Stitt, the governor of Oklahoma, the Republican governor of Oklahoma, we both stood together with our other governors and saying this type of brutish behavior, this type of unaccountable behavior, the fact that we are having people who are not well trained yet armed inside of our society and lack accountability. And frankly, where you're watching the Secretary of Homeland Security, the first thing she does when she gets on television is start gaslighting and start talking about how this person was there to inspire violence. It's this type of thing that leads to a real frustration that for a lot of us as governors that we have when we're talking about a nurse for the VA who the first thing you start doing is gaslighting before you even do any type of investigation as to what happens. And so for Democratic governors and Republican governors, we stand together in saying that we believe in the support of the First Amendment. We believe that if you want to best understand what's going on inside of our neighborhoods, you should actually work with us instead of working against us. And you should actually work in partnership with us and not trying to dictate to us what type of forces and what type of supports are needed inside of our neighborhoods to de-escalate instead of escalate.
We appreciate you sharing your thoughts on this as it's like we have a big snow story that we're covering, but you can't forget about what's also going on in our nation. So we appreciate you weighing in on that.
We sure do.
Yeah. But let's end with the weather now and the plan here. So you're asking Marylanders to just, if you can, stay off the roads. You guys have it covered, right?
If you are not essential, if this is not an emergency, enjoy the day. Indoors.
Yes, indoors. Yes.
If you want to go sledding and walk to get there.
Yeah.
But watch some good football, have some good food, play some board games and some cards. Just do it indoors and let us go out and do what we need to do to get these roads clear so we can get people back as quick as possible.
And no reneging today.
And no
reneging today in spades. I'm going to be calling. I'm going to be watching.
And before we let you go, Governor, what's on the snack list today for you and the family?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. because when we've actually been preparing for this. As soon as I called a state of preparedness for the state, we called a state of preparedness for our household. And so we're like, all right, what are we doing to prepare for this storm? And so, as you know, we're here at the Emergency Operations Command now, but finally, at some point soon, I will get back home.
Yeah.
And when I do, we got some Caribbean food coming.
Oh, that sounds good. Okay,
fancy.
last question. We promised.
Yeah,
it's
we
so fun to talk
promised.
to the governor. But
This is great.
Is Tucker a snow dog or in the house when it snows dog?
Tucker's so soft. We opened up the door to go think about. He took one look and turned right back around.
Oh, he's after my own heart.
He said, "I'm no fool."
All right.
Okay.
Governor Wes Moore, thank you so much for spending some time with us. And you guys stay
Thank you,
safe
Beth.
as well. Okay.
Thank you,
Please
Governor.
stay safe. Thank you.
All righty.